Hey everyone, it's your handy friend. So this is officially my first YouTube video, and I am going to paint my laundry room. So I just recently had these cabinets painted, and I actually did pay for someone to do it. I rarely pay for people to do things, and I did. And I used my wonderful US government stimulus check and got my kitchen and laundry room cabinets painted, and I love them. So they are black, and it looks green in this video, but it actually was yellow. I wanted a bright laundry room, and I actually just took down all my kids' artwork. This is where I decided to hang it and remind myself as I did all their dirty laundry of how cute and special my 4 kids are. So I just took down all the laundry, or all the their artwork, and you know, I assume most people know how to paint a room, but maybe you don't. So I'm gonna give you some tips. First tip, you take everything off the walls, you wanna clean them and fill all the holes. So like over here I have some holes in the wall. So all you do is get your spackling, and you're just gonna put it on. In college, when I rented, you know, always had apartments or rental houses and stuff like that, which I felt like I had to move every year. I have no idea why it costs so much to move, but every year, oh, school's over, gotta find a new place to live. I would actually use toothpaste to fill in the nail holes. Yeah, so I get my deposit back. And apparently it worked, toothpaste. So you could always use toothpaste. One time we had this terrible dog that ate the windowsill, like literally chewed the whole windowsill. It was like the most rotten. Oh, and pulled wallpaper out of the bathroom because Clay put the dog in the bathroom, ripped the wallpaper. That we never got our deposit back, obviously. Actually, that was Clay's place, so it's his deposit. Anyway, so I am filling up the holes, and you clean the walls. Something else I like to do is dust the baseboards and clean them up, because I don't want to put my brush and my roller in a bunch of dust or cobwebs. Like, you know, we all have cobwebs. They get in the corners. So clean those real quick before you start painting. So first step, prep the walls, fill in the holes, clean the baseboards, and then you're going to start prepping by covering things and putting a drop cloth down. Okay, so our room is ready to start painting, and I am the messiest painter there possibly is. So I have my paint clothes on that already have a ton of paint on it, and I use like as a rag as I go. But I want to go over some tools that you need. First, you need a paintbrush. This is to cut in around the edges, and you'll just use it. I prefer an angled brush. This is not an angled brush. I have to buy a new one. You need a roller, a big one. Don't go too cheap on a roller. The actual roller part. I don't really care about the handle part. But you want to get something. Read what you're going to paint, and buy the right one. Okay, because you want to be able to get full coverage of your paint. You don't want to paint 3 times. Dude, hopefully not even 2 coats. If you buy good paint, you only have to do it 1 coat. This is my favorite little tool. This is an edger, and I don't like cutting in. I don't like the detail work of not getting the paint on the baseboard. So I use this little tool. You dip it in the paint, you scrape it, oh, I'll show that better in a minute. Scrape it off, and then you go along the edges and the ceiling, and that way you don't get it all over the places that you don't want to paint. And like I said, paint makes a difference. So this is Sherwin-Williams Showcase. This says it's 1 coat coverage. I splurge and buy a little more expensive paint, so I don't have to do it 2 times. It's worth the extra bucks. And I think this was actually on sale when I bought it. But sometimes they have rebates and things like that. I always take advantage of that. This paint color I actually did in the boys' room, and I have like 3/4 of a gallon left, which is plenty to do this small laundry room. So I'm just going to use what I've got. No point me going and buying $40 more worth of paint when I have a color that's fine for me. Another tool that's really cool is this. It's like a big spatula. I don't know what this is called, but what is it called? I don't remember. But it's really great when you're painting baseboards. So you put this down on the floor, and as you're brushing, you go along with it, and you don't get paint on the tile or your carpet or another surface that you don't want paint on. I will demonstrate it in a moment. So those are the tools you need: a roller, a brush, paint, also a pan. I'm not very good at this. A pan, and then you'll be ready to start. Okay, so this, you pull the little tab up, and then you dip. And then what I always do is you want to scrape off the excess. So you just go along the side of your pan. So I have some pretty nice coverage. Might have to get some more. But basically, this is what you do. You put the little guard back down, and you're going to go, along the edge. And it makes a nice, quick, easy, look at that. And actually I got a pretty good amount of paint. And then I go and get some more. But I love this for the ceiling because I'm not very good at not getting it on the ceiling. So that's pretty good coverage for right there. So it's not going to take long to paint this room. Also, always have some rags so you can go and touch up any drips that you make. Okay, so another thing I didn't mention is blue tape. That's really, a lot of people use that to tape off areas that they don't want painted. I definitely don't want my cabinets messed up, but I don't have any blue tape. Like, I'm just doing this on the whim, and I'm using the materials that I already have, so I'm not going to the store to get blue tape. So this is where this handy dandy tool comes in. Let me get a little more paint on my brush, only a little bit. And what I do is I actually hold it up like this, so I'm protecting the cabinets or whatever surface you want to protect. And then I'm just going to carefully take my brush and go along with it. And I'm only putting a little bit of paint because I don't want it to seep underneath. It might still, but I'll just use my rag to clean it up. So yeah, see, it didn't get close enough, unfortunately. But that's okay, because we can fix it. It's not the end of the world. My little edger tool might work much better on this because I don't like this brush. So let's try the edger tool. I'm just getting some paint on it, and we will try it. And make sure you don't get a lot of paint on your wheels or your guard, because then you're just going to get it on that surface you don't want. So if you do, wipe it off with your rag. So this might come out a lot better. Yeah, definitely much better for this to use the edger. Okay. So nice and slow around. And then I just kind of get the excess off. Okay, so I've done all the edging in the room of, the ceiling and all the steps. So now I'm ready to do my wall. So like I said, you want a good roller, nap, I believe is what it's called. And you're gonna get a good amount of paint on there. This is where if you do too little of paint, you're gonna have to go over it several times. So get a good amount of paint. And this is how I always start. I start with a W. See, I definitely need more paint. Get some more. So I'm gonna start with a W. And then you go back and forth, but that's still not enough paint. So this roller, which I've used a few times, might be on its last leg. Okay? So you're just going to go, now you do have to put pressure, get some muscles in there to get it, the coverage, to cover this yellow. And I don't think the nap on this is as good as it could be. So the better the nap, the better coverage you're going to have with this knockdown wall texture. And just keep refilling your paint as you go. And you're just going to do a small section at a time. Make sure you have it all covered before you move on to another section. Okay, when you're done using, or for the evening, if you get to a point where you have to stop painting and you're not finished, especially if you're like me and you got kids that interrupt you, you have to make dinner, do all that. This is a wonderful hack to keep your roller brush and your paintbrush ready for you for your next use, so you don't have to wash in between, because you know washing your stuff is very important. But if you just need a break, what you do is get a Walmart bag or saran wrap, some type of plastic wrap, and you're going to stick your stuff in there. And you want to kind of make it airtight because you don't want it to dry out. Okay, so I just put the wet brush, roller brush, in here, in this bag. And then I'm also going to do the same for my paintbrush because I am done with the laundry room, but I started to paint my back door. Well, the inside of my garage door. My friend Melissa always has painted the inside of her doors from like the exterior doors, and I've always loved that, and I've like never done it. So anyway, I just started doing it. I'll show it to you. But anyway, I did paint the entire room. It's done.